If you like these videos, please check out my full course at www.lsat.totaltestprep.net with tons of clearly explained actual LSAT questions written by someone who's mastered test and helped others master it, and an evaluation period where you only pay if you want to continue. Okay, let's take a look at the proposal relationship. So what is the proposal argument type? Okay, looking at it, proposal arguments are essentially calls to action. The argument generally says that something should or should not be done. That's the basic point of the argument. It tells you should or should not do something. Now, common variations include situations where the premises generally introduce a causal relationship, and then they'll conclude with a proposal based on the desirability or the undesirability of that of the particular effect. So, for example, we here have on the upper right that frozen fruits and vegetables don't have as much nutrients as fresh ones. So you should prepare your food with locally grown fresh fruits and vegetables. So what's going on here is that the fact that these fruits and vegetables are frozen, the effect of that is that you are lacking in nutrients. So that's the causal relationship there. Freezing fruits causes them to have less nutrients than if they were not frozen. And that is an undesirable effect. You don't want to eat fruits and vegetables that don't have as much nutrients as fresh ones. So the proposal is to avoid that by preparing your food with locally grown fresh fruits and vegetables. So that's the way it works. The relationship, freezing causes less nutrients. Proposal, don't use frozen food, or in this case use locally grown fresh fruits and vegetables. You might also have situations where premises introduce a principle that requires a particular action. So in this particular argument, it might be something along the lines of, if you're not getting enough nutrients from frozen fruits and vegetables, then you should prepare with locally grown fresh fruits and vegetables. So it might, instead of just simply saying that there is a particular effect, it might say that if something produces an effect, then you should avoid it, or you should, depending on the effect, you should avoid it, or you should seek it out if it's a positive effect. So that's one of the ways in which it can be phrased. Now, this type is related to the evaluation type, in the sense that there's the difference actually is that the evaluation types simply make a judgment on something. You know, they'll say that something is good or bad, whereas the proposal types call for an action on the basis of that judgment. So in this particular argument, it might say something along the lines of frozen fruits and vegetables don't have as much nutrients as fresh ones, so frozen fruits and vegetables are less healthy, or something along those lines. It might just say, okay, here's the effect of, here's a particular process and an effect, and this is what and that makes it good or bad. The difference here is that the proposal types go, essentially, you can think of it a step further and say, well, on the basis of that, you should do something. Now, likewise with these, the conclusion is usually worded with the word should, and that's, as I said, as I just mentioned, you should do something, because that usually indicates an obligation to act. And we have that, excuse me, we have that up here in our argument. You should prepare your food with locally grown fresh fruits and vegetables. So you want to be sensitive to that word. That lets you know, in all likelihood, that you're dealing with some sort of proposal argument, because that's what should means. It's telling you that you have some sort of obligation. And likewise, you want to pay attention to the positive and negative consequences in the premises, because that's how the argument is built. It presents a situation that produces some sort of positive or negative consequence, and then there is the proposal or call to action on the basis of that. The proposal relationship generally involves the causal element more, and that's because, as I mentioned, because you have the causal process in the premises which produces the positive or negative consequences. So you want to look for these causal processes in the premises that produce particular effects, and then a conclusion that seeks to achieve or avoid that effect. That's essentially what a proposal argument does. Particular effect, and then a call to action on the basis of it. Okay, so a quick summary. Proposals are calls to action that are motivated by the desirability or the undesirability of a consequence or a state of affairs.